Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to present for you my December 2020 podium presenters for Best D&D Commentator this month. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's do this. Let's get into this. All right, so who are the best presenters for this month? Okay, for the month of 2020. So what do you need to do to win the J. Scott Garibay podium presenters of the month, right? Well, you have to be a D&D commentator, and that means you commentate about D&D, right? In your videos, you talk about D&D. You make D&D commentary, okay? Now, just so you're aware, that doesn't mean you cover D&D games. If you are paying attention, you will see a lot of tabletop role-playing game commentators will talk about other games, and they all circle back to Dungeons & Dragons. And the reason for that is absolutely zero independent tabletop role-playing games have the power to escape Dungeons & Dragons orbit right now. None of them, right? All indie tabletop role-playing games orbit as a moon around the Earth of Dungeons & Dragons. That's a reality, okay? And I think I know a lot of indie tabletop role-playing designers, game masters, players. This drives them artists. This drives them crazy, right? Because, like, you know, they work super hard. They build these incredibly beautiful tabletop role-playing games, and then they just get a fraction of the share of Dungeons & Dragons, right? And one of the reasons why is name recognition. D&D's got incredible name recognition, and it has 46 years of straight baller history, creating some of the best action that has ever been seen in tabletop role-playing games, right? So it's hard to beat it, and frankly, none of them can, right? So a lot of these commentators do cover other games, but they commentate on D&D in context of the games that they're actually covering. So you could still be a D&D commentator even if you wouldn't even claim you were, right? And so this is me, and I've listened to easily over 100 different tabletop role-playing game commentators, and these are the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop role-playing commentators that I think you should listen to right now, right? And that are really doing a fantastic job with Dungeons & Dragons commentary, okay? Let's get into it. Let's roll them out, all right? All right, so who's first? First and foremost, with the gold, okay, is Ginny D. I'm new to Ginny D. I just discovered her recently. I just in this last month, but she is fantastic. Ginny D is a Dungeons & Dragons commentator. Now, I think she started as a critter. Do you know what a critter is? I'll explain it. Critters are fans of Matthew Mercer, okay? She has a ton of content that is critter-specific, right? But she does a lot of commentary on Dungeons & Dragons specifically. The reason why she wins the gold this year, the gold for December 2020, as a podium presenter for Dungeons & Dragons commentary, is her innovation. She does stuff that nobody in the industry, nobody in D&D commentator community is doing, right? She does interviews. She sets up these interviews where she speaks to you from the camera, and she asks you questions that expose your knowledge of your own player character, your own Dungeons & Dragons player character. Absolutely brilliant. I think this is brilliant. So Ginny D is a really fresh voice because the stuff coming off her channels, you will not see it anywhere, right? You do not, like, she is not, oh, hey, here's the 75th iteration of Tasha's Cauldron subclass tier lists, right? She is incredibly innovative. She does cosplay as her own Dungeons & Dragons Dungeons & Dragons characters. She gives guides to other people's content, right? And she really just has an incredibly unique voice. If you're not listening to Ginny D, start listening to her now. She's fantastic. All right. My silver goes to Seth Skorkowsky. He's really fantastic. He does a lot of traveler content, right? But it's got a deep backlog of amazing, really wonderful videos. He's done a ton of traveler content. He's commentated pretty extensively on Dungeons & Dragons. He's commentated on a whole host of games, and all of this comes from being a dyed-in-the-wool, dedicated Dungeons & Dragons player for decades. The other thing is he puts a lot of production values into his videos, right? And which prompts me to apologize for the horrible lack of production values in my videos, right? Just trust and believe. The only reason I don't put more time and effort into the production of my videos is just because I have a beautiful wife and 4 kids that need to spend time with them. Like, that's the only reason. But I do apologize to you. I wish I had, super bright lights and cool CGI scans and stuff, and this guy does. He really takes it serious. His Dungeons & Dragons commentary is off the hook. This guy is very, very good. Seth Skorkowsky is fantastic. Check out his content. All right, so we've talked about gold, Ginny D, silver, Seth Skorkowsky. Who won the bronze this month? OGGM. All right, so OGGM, oh my gosh, love this dude. He calls himself the Grumpy GM, and boy is he. He's just some old dude sitting in his apartment, just knocking off D&D commentary videos, right? He's very off the cuff. He's really rough. His production values are about as bad as mine, right? He is also kind of disgruntled, but his voice is truly unique, right? And honestly, this dude does a ton wrong. I really dislike a lot of the things this guy does on his channel, right? One, he curses a lot more than I would like to say. Honestly, I'll tell you right now, you don't have to curse to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, so please stop if you're a commentator out there, right? So I really don't like that about his channel. And the other thing is he just comes off as kind of angry and sad, right? But why is he on this list? Because we need these voices, right? He's very, very genuine. Like, you can really see that he has a channel where he talks about tabletop role-playing games and talks frequently about Dungeons & Dragons. And he hates Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Just sprays hate at Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition on the reg, right? But so why is he on this list? He's so genuine. Like, the words coming out of your mouth, you know it ain't being bought by G-Fool. You know it ain't there because he's getting some book a month early from Wizards of the Coast. He truly is an independent voice. When you listen to him, you can tell this guy's straight independent, free from anyone's oversight but his own. And I will tell you right now, that is not the case with a large amount of D&D tabletop commentators. Many of them are handcuffed. They're handcuffed to their relationship with Wizards of the Coast. They're handcuffed to their relationship with sponsors. They're handcuffed to the relationships they have with their own viewing communities, right? This guy is saying the truth. He's saying what's in his head and what's in his heart, and it's real. It is very genuine and very real. I love his independence. I love that I don't need to wonder if these are actually his true opinions, which I'll tell you, a lot of D&D commentators, like I watched a big, like 50,000 subs, and they come out and they're like, you know what? I hate the Ravnica book. It sucks, right? And then a month later, you're getting a video going, you know what? I really rethought my opinion on the Ravnica book, and this is why it's awesome, and you should love it, right? Like, just absolute nonsense, right? With great production values, and, this guy is true blue, right? The words coming out of his mouth are real, and I love that. I don't agree with half of them, but I love that it's real, right? And so that's really, really great. The other thing that really shines through with him is just this pure, genuine love of tabletop role-playing games. That's another thing I love about YouTube. I'm going to say it right now. Thank you, YouTube, for carrying my content for 6 or 7 years now, for always having my videos up, for giving me an opportunity to talk to some of the best fans in the world, best Dungeons & Dragons fans in the world. I'm so thankful to YouTube, and and the reality is, it really is. It's a joy to be in the company of these different presenters. And he's on YouTube. He does his content. He does it very, very well. And the reality is, that's the thing I love about YouTube, is you can't fake sincerity on YouTube, man. When you start making these videos, you can if you do one video a week, right? Which some people do, right? But when you're doing, a video every other day, a video every day, truth is going to show, right? And this guy's love, his passion for tabletop role-playing games, the books, right? Just rub them on your face. I love books from tabletop role-playing game books. It's just wonderful, right? Filled with ideas. They guard literacy and print. tabletop role play, and you can see this guy loves box sets, loves hardback books, loves dice. His love is real, right? So those are my podium presenters of December 2020. Ginny D, absolutely fantastic. Seth Skorkowsky, absolutely fantastic. OGGM, absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen these guys, go and ladies, go check them out. They're really fantastic. They inspire me every day. They give me, the wherewithal to keep moving and to keep creating content and to keep trying to serve this amazing community, the Dungeons & Dragons community. I love all these presenters' content, and I'm hoping you will too. All that's my opinion. If you are already fans of any of these people, let me know how you found them. And if you have your own pick of podium presenters for December 2020, let me see your list of 3 below. Thank you. Take care.